and Bath before doing the same to Trent in last week's rescheduled fixture. New boys Cardiff now prop up the 9 sides, a point adrift of Trent before Loughborough and Beckett lead us to a congested mid-table populated by Northumbria, Bath and Durham. Hartpury is one of the teams to chase, sandwiched by today's sides Cardiff Met and leaders Exeter. Now, it should have been a full ticket of fixtures, a classic BUCS Super Wednesday, but unfortunately the weather has come a cropper for us and a few fixtures have been postponed. Cardiff Met is going to be on here against Exeter, but Trent have been called off. Leeds Beckett's home fixture have been called off, but Cardiff are also playing Bath in the capital, while Loughborough are playing Northumbria on a synthetic pitch. So we're hoping that that one isn't going to be called off, but it could be a little bit of a table shakedown as per usual. Now, Will, Cardiff Met, the opposition, we can see them warming up here. You played them last out. You only beat them by 6 points. It must be fresh in the memory. What do they bring? What are the strengths that you need to nullify?
Yeah, so they're a big physical side, always have been. They'll be good over the ball. They'll be looking to really dominate us in the set piece. We held out well at home, but they'll be looking, especially at home, to do one over us in those areas. We know that they always bring a loud crowd, a loud, energetic crowd here, the Archers. So just nullify that and work on what we want to work on, basically.
Excellent stuff. Okay, so some nice words there from Will about the opposition, but we've also got some nice words about how you can protect your digital identity with our sponsors, Yoti, who have been with us from the word go in BUCS Super Rugby.
It was so much easier because I had already set up in the app about 3 months ago, actually, when it first came to the island.
I really like how simple it was to use.
It's the kind of convenience we want in this holidays that we live in.
Like, you don't really want to carry your passport around all night now, you're always going to have a phone on you.
The convenience to be able to go up and get my phone and just scan a thing.
It's just easier, you have all your stuff in one place.
And it makes life a lot easier when you're trying to prove your age, and quite versatile as well.
Thank you to our sponsors, Yoti, who keep this league going very, very nicely indeed. Now, Will, this could be a season-defining fortnight in terms of the title race. You play Cardiff Met here, then Cardiff Met welcome Hartpury, who are the other real major contender for the league. What have you guys spoken about in the approach to this game tonight?
Yeah, so like I said, we know that Cardiff Met will be good over the ball, so the breakdown's a key area for us, being able to smash that, drive them off the ball and just have a really good clean ball for our 9. Set piece, staying in that, staying strong in that, and just winning the physical battle, really. If we win the physical battle, we should be able to smash through these boys. Fingers crossed.
Excellent. Slightly biased appraisal from Will Cutbill there, but we're certainly looking forward to the game on a clear, crisp night, perfect for a bit of rugby, and 2 other guys who are looking forward to the game are the Exeter and Cardiff Met coaches.
So, Danny, obviously you've had a long Christmas break. How do you keep the boys kind of motivated coming into this game? So it's a massive game tonight against Exeter.
Well, we did have a little bit of a break over the Christmas period. No game between sort of Christmas Day and the New Year, but we've been back in since the 5th of January with our National League programme and a big cup match on Saturday. So no need to keep the boys motivated, but I know they're excited for this one.
And how do you beat this Exeter side tonight?
Well, I think if you go on the last game, 3 driving line-outs, probably a few cheap penalties. That's been a big focus for us here in the week in terms of not giving them the opportunities, but also, how we're going to deal with that. They're a well-organised, well-coached side, and, it's good to see them down here tonight.
And they've got quite a few of their key players missing tonight in that Exeter side. Is that something that you've looked at and kind of said to the boys, this is one for us, we can have this one?
Yeah, it swings and roundabouts. While you might say they've got a couple of players missing, they've got Goslin back in as captain and Capon back in the back row. So there's some pretty good players out there. So we'll be playing our game, and hopefully that'll be enough on the night.
And just a quick word on Matt Marsh. He, before Christmas, had a kind of a great season. We saw some great tries from him. Is he injured? I noticed that obviously he's not in the squad tonight. Just a quick note on him.
Yeah, similarly, we're carrying up a few injuries like everybody is at this time, and Matt Marsh is one of those. He's got a bit of a back problem. Unfortunately, looks like it's going to keep him out for a while. And, hopefully he'll come back as soon as he can, but a disappointing one for us.
Great stuff. Well, Danny, best of luck for the game tonight.
Thank you.
Cool.
Well, wonderful to hear from Danny Milton as ever. And true to type, Keith Fleming remaining the elusive beast he is, so difficult to track down for a pre-game interview. We'll be looking to catch up with him on the sidelines at some stage throughout the game. and see what his view is on the opposition, on the league, as we come into this pivotal 6-game run into the end of the season that is going to determine who is going to be lifting the trophy. So it has also provided us an opportunity to dash to the comms position, myself and Will. Will's joining me again. Will,
Hiya.
how are you enjoying your first experience of commentary and media work for BSR?
Yeah, it's been new. It's been a new experience. Really good so far. I think I might have a face for radio, but the voice is coming along nicely. So I think I'm doing all right, thanks.
Well, here's your opportunity to try that radio workout, because we won't be seeing your mug during the commentary for this
Thank
game.
goodness.
But hopefully we'll be getting plenty of insight from Will, a man who was in the title-winning side for Exeter last year before that injury that he mentioned in March. So we start with the home team, who, like many BSR sides, are showing the strains of one of the fiercest leagues in the country. With seasoned campaigners like Johnston, Rabazniak and Marsh mentioned in the interview there, missing through injury, Met welcomed some fresh faces to the side. Chiefly, number 14, Brad Dent, who's impressed in his fresh year and finds himself outside the potentially devastating centre pairing of Barry Correa and Luke Northmore, who is in red-hot form. Aled Ward captains the side from 8 and will no doubt lead the famous Cardiff Met forward charge. Table toppers Exeter have shuffled their deck, but they have the luxury of bringing in gun players with plenty of Exeter Braves experience. Joe Elderkin has Singer 7's experience to call upon when countering from 15, and you can always count on Captain Jack Rouse's Energizer Bunny engine to bring the noise for the forwards. The replacements, there's a few freshers to call upon for Cardiff Met, notably Ellis Bevan and James Mattin, the half-back pairing, a second year and a fresher, but Ellis Bevan with Wales 18's experience, having just come off their South Africa tour and in the 19's mixer, will certainly be looking to make an impact when he comes on, while Exeter have equal amounts of class with Aaron Bagwell, a BUCS finalist previously, sat there on the bench, and Sal Mboj, an absolutely lethal finisher when he gets his time to shine. So Will, down here at Kincoid, a place that you would have played at a number of times, one of the most difficult places to come and pick up a result.
Definitely.
What is it about the Welsh capital that makes it so tricky?
The fans are loud from minute one. You run through that tunnel and it's either going to get you pumped up or put off. Hopefully the Exeter boys out there will pump them up, get them starting, firing up. But it's a difficult place to come. They're always pumped up at home. They're always physical, always aggressive. So if we counteract that, then should be all right.
Do you think that potentially that Kincoid is a venue that could play into your hands? Because it's quite similar to Topsham. A lot of the sides in the league these days are leaning towards big stadia, 3G, 4G pitches, whereas, you know, there's a spit and sawdust feel to Kincoid and Topsham, your home ground.
Yeah, so we'll be used to playing in conditions like this, playing on them both on a Saturday in the Nat 3 and on a Wednesday in the BUCS. So we'll be used to playing in conditions like this. We are used to the Scrum as well, but hopefully this will fall into our hands, yeah.
As we see the famous Guard of Honour beginning to be built by the Cardiff Met substitutes and the fans. The Archers always bring a vociferous crowd down to their home fixtures, and as Will said, it's something that EURFC will have to counter if they're going to come away with a victory. It could not have been tighter between these two sides last year. Exeter winning 29-24 in their home fixture, and then Met pipping Exeter 25-24 in the return. We mentioned before, these sides met just before Christmas. Exeter trumping the Archers 28-22. So you can really see it is the finest of margins between these sides.
Yeah, it is. It's always going to be close, especially here in Cardiff. Like I said, they're going to be physical right from the minute go. So we just got to counteract that. It was tight at home, they were physical at home, but we overcame them, and fingers crossed we can do the same here again, yeah.
The chants you can hear being cried, Uwick, a nod to their former incarnation as Uwick. Back in the day before they became Cardiff Met, led out there by the inspirational Aled Ward, who put in a supreme performance in the WRU Cup at the weekend in a losing cause against Bedouin. He was injured in the first game of the season at the Arms Park. A shoulder niggle kept him on the sidelines, but he's back with a vengeance as we see the green machine roll out, captain by George Gosling, making a return with the captain's armband. How important is he to the cause?
Yeah, very important. Leads from the front, carries, tackles, chops. We've got a few tanks on our side, a few beasts, so hopefully they can lead from the front with him.
And he's not afraid of a meat pie as well. He's had a couple of hat-tricks in his career.
Yeah, he likes hanging off the back of the mauls after all of our hard work. But yeah, fair play to him. He's leading from the front. He's scoring a few meat pies himself, so fair play to him.
That appears to be a recurring trait amongst a few players in the league. No names mentioned, Pierre Thompson and Tom Doughty, who's also an exponent of hanging at the back and profiting from the work of the forwards. But enough chit-chat. The game is upon us and kickoff is imminent. Exeter playing right to left will get us underway. As the referee makes sure all the sides are ready. In the 10 jersey, Sam Morley, a marksman with the boot, sends the ball steepling into the dark Kincoid skies, and it's claimed on the 22 by Cardiff Met. They go tight through the forwards, looking for a clean exit to start this game, which they get, and they kick long, but there's 3 in the backfield, and the counter comes from captain Jack Rouse. Felled before Exeter begin to make some inroads just before the halfway line. The box goes up. Claimed masterfully there on the left wing by Cardiff Met. It's a clear night, it's a crisp night, it's a dry night, but it is also a cold one, so I wonder if we'll see more of that aerial assault coming from Exeter tonight.
And the chants are starting already. It's always a good atmosphere here down in Cardiff, so hopefully that keeps on all the way through the game.
Pierre Thompson, that man I mentioned before, puts the bomb up, and there is the first handling error. Some frosty fingertips out there potentially from Cardiff Met. Is that a tactic that we're going to see from Exeter tonight?
Potentially, yeah. We always back our set piece, so if we can get a few knock-ons from them, get a bit more possession, then that's what we're looking for all the way through the game, yeah.
Well, Pierre Thompson, the man putting the bomb up there, he also has 7 tries to his name in this Super Rugby campaign. A real snipe at the base, and runs great supporting lines, profiting often from that off-the-shoulder offload from the big forward carries. We're going to see the first scrum of the game here. Met had a torrid time on Saturday in the Welsh Cup. The first one goes down. The referee happy to just call this one a reset, as both sets of forwards acquaint themselves with one another. It's a dry track, it's a little bit sticky, but it should lend itself to some clean scrummaging throughout the evening. And know that you back your set piece. Will you be looking to milk some penalties from these sorts of positions?
Hopefully, yeah. We'll be looking to drive them back just as much as they'll be looking to drive us back. So we've got a fair bit of weight in the pack with the Georgian beast Lasher in the second row pumping us forward. So yeah, here we go.
And Exeter get the nudge on as predicted by Will here, and they continue to march. They move up to the 22. The control is good at the back. It's a penalty advantage, but it's spoilt by Cardiff Met.
That's what we like to see.
And it's a penalty, Exeter. That's big for the forwards so early in the game. You can see the players congratulating each other. Backs in there too. And Morley, so dead-eye from the tee, plumps for the corner. And we're going to see the other part of the Exeter set-piece duo, I feel, the driving maul. 3 tries they scored against this Cardiff Met side at Topsham in their victory before Christmas. And they're going to be dishing out a taste of line-out drive early in this BUCS Super Rugby fixture, brought to you by Yoti. This is an important moment early in the game. Claimed neatly by the Exeter jumper. And they've got momentum, but they're crabbing across the pitch. They managed to steady things.
Needs to be kept at the back here.
And they're looking good. There's numbers in there, but dragged to the ground. They go blind. Pierre Thompson. His wingers chopped down. They go back to the forwards.
7, leave 7.
Another carry, this time from Jack Capon. They go wide, out the back. Morley's there, but he's met by 2 Met defenders. Northmore and Correa manage him to the floor, but he gets it down. But it's offside in the centre of the field from the Archers' defence, straight in front of the post. An early chance for 3 points for the men in green.
Yeah, exciting physical start, definitely living up to the aggressive philosophy from both sides that we look forward to.
An easy one to potentially open Morley's account for the evening. He is their top scorer, 74 points so far this term, and he hasn't been starting every game. There's been a lot of rotation that we've seen from Exeter this season, maybe more so than last year.
Yeah, but like every team, we've suffered our injuries. Sam himself has had a few injuries, also involved a bit with the Chiefs. So yeah, a bit of rotation, but the depth in the squad is really good, so we don't fear that. We look to embrace it.
And he duly slots the opening points of the game. It's Cardiff Met 0, Exeter University 3, with 6 minutes gone in this BUCS Super Rugby fixture, brought to you by Yoti. Cardiff Met now with a chance to pump it into the Exeter field and gain a bit of territory, but claimed expertly by Paul Schroeter. 2 tries in this campaign. He flicks between the back row and the second row. That's an indication of the mobility of that man. And we saw his athleticism in the air there as Exeter carry through the middle to build a platform for a boxed exit from Thompson, which goes high but not too far. Exeter win it back. On the floor, on the 10-metre line. It's spoiled, and Jack Arthur is through. But the referee calls it back. There was a knock-on in the play. That was Harry Seward. I apologise there on the charge through, but a knock-on somewhere along the line lets Exeter off. Probably not the purchase that Thompson was looking for on that box kick there, Will. But Exeter getting away with it.
Yeah, looked a bit all over the place there for Pierre, but we'll look to build from this scrum again, hopefully gain another penalty. If not, produce good ball for Pierre and see what we can do from the base of the scrum, yeah.
So second scrum of the game, the first resulting in an Exeter penalty in the Cardiff Met red zone. Let's see if they can hold their own this time. It goes down on the near side immediately. Referee happy to call for a re-scrum. Couldn't quite get the angle on our cameras there. But it looks like this could be a war zone for the rest of the evening, with both eights tussling away.
It's what you look forward to as a prop, these encounters.
Yes. One of the only 4 men on the pitch who look forward to these encounters, certainly not the spectators. But Will, your scrum is imperious. It's one of the things that people always talk about. What is it about the Exeter scrum that makes it so difficult to shunt?
Well, we've got a really good scrummaging pack, 1 to 8. We all look to buy in right the way through. As you can see, every single one of us pushing there right to the penalty. Great scrum.
And that's what it's about. It's cohesion amongst the entire 8. It's not one fantastic prop or a great prop and hooker combination. It's all 8 pushing as one.
Yeah, definitely. And when you got the likes of Lasher pushing behind you, you thank him afterwards, that's for sure.
Yes, so Lasher, we will be getting onto that man. He sounds like a bit of a cult hero the way you speak about him, but certainly doing the job in the engine room in terms of propelling that front three forward and winning a second consecutive penalty and putting Exeter just beyond the halfway line with a line out on their own throw. As they go to the back, off the top, great dart attack through the middle. But big defence in the middle of the park stops Rory McMiken in his tracks before Capon carries.
9 leave. Stay. Go.
Charge down, Morley's kick, but Exeter retrieve it. This is good defence from Met. Exeter haven't travelled any distance so far from that line out as they run into another two-man Met hit.
Use.
Thompson boxes. Two men chase.
Got to compliment Met there on their aggressive D. Made us kick the ball back to them, so fair play.
Marked by Tom Benjamin. Tom Benjamin, who's been so impressive throughout the campaign, finds a fantastic touch, but it's taken quickly by Exeter.
5 drop.
They kick it high and long. And Alan Ward goes to attack, to charge, cheered on by the Kincoid faithful. Jack Arthur now sliding through, great hands by Met. They've got the wind in their sails. It's quick ball over the top, but over the hands of the Met player in support, into touch. And it's an Exeter line out. Same distance from the poles, but on the other side of the pitch. And with the same result, Exeter win it a bit scrappily this time. A lot tougher for the hooker to be throwing in on that side of the field with the vocal support of the home fans.
Those 50-50s are key all game. Whoever comes out with the most 50-50 wins, I reckon, is going to pull this one.
Come down.
It's certainly a contest of margins. We highlighted in the build-up how narrow the victories have been between these two. And that's a stark change from the 8 fixtures prior. When Met won last year, it really stopped the rot. They'd lost 8 consecutive games against Exeter, dating all the way back to 2014. But they're a side reborn, certainly, in the last 2 years. Finalists last year, losing in heartbreaking fashion to a last-minute Hartbury score, something Exeter know only too well about. Hartbury the other side, who are pressing at the top of the table as Jack Rouse cleans up the mess, steals a few yards, and Thompson burrows again. This time Gosling carries. Morley puts it on the toe again, drops it short of the fullback. He deals with it expertly and pumps it into touch just beyond the 10-metre line. Met under a lot of pressure here, Exeter with plenty of possession, but they're dealing with them well at the moment.
Yeah, dealing with us very well at the moment, dealing with our hard carries with equally hard defence, so we just need to try and find the gaps, I guess, get through them some other way.
Well, the first line out of the evening lost by an errant throw from Gosling. And Met's chance to attack. Fast line speed from Exeter stops them in their tracks, but they retain the ball. And Russell Bennett fumbles, regathers, wriggles through the hole in the line. Does well.
Let it come.
For Aled Ward, gets another carry, it goes out the back. Again, strong defence from Exeter. So many sides priding themselves on their D.
Ball is open. Stay. Tag and leave. Leave.
Working in heavy traffic. After being pinned back by a kick. Quite composed though, going through their processes. They're looks to be another Thompson box outside the 22, so we'll expect this to be kept in field and a big chase with Charlie Davies, the main man, on the hunt. Well, I spoke too soon. That is a mistake from Pierre Thompson, and the crowd are letting him know about it. The crowd down there by the benches, which is where our roving reporter Alex is, who's got an interview with one of the Exeter coaches.
Well, Joe, it's incredibly loud down here. I can barely hear myself think. This crowd behind me is so loud. Keith, if I could just grab you for 2 seconds. Couldn't get you just for the game. So, obviously, massive win for you against Cardiff. Bonus point win just before Christmas. Is it pretty much from you? Same again tonight from the boys?
It's going to be a real tough game. I mean, both teams are going to go for it now. Sharp end of the season. Last block of 6 games. You know, everybody's going to go flat out.
You've got a few key players missing for you tonight. Who have you got stepping up for that team instead?
We've still got 1 or 2 boys who are on the injury list. Goes with the territory. We just got to keep working away. We'll get them back at some stage.
And just quickly on that try, disappointing obviously you to see that one go over the defensive line.
Yeah, that will happen. I'm not too worried about it at the moment. We're sort of only 15 minutes into the game. It's the early stages of an arm wrestle. You know, there's a long time to go.
Keith, I'll let you get back to it. Thanks very much for talking to us. Thank you. Back to you, Joe.
Well, to Keith, all the action unfolded down the right half of the pitch. It was a burst by Luke Northmore with an offload to a supporting Will Gibson, and a simple 2-on-1 putting Laurie Essenhigh stepping in for the injured Matt Marsh, sliding in under the post to give an easy kick to Russell Bennett to take the score to 7-3. Will, a real killer blow after so much possession for Exeter.
Yeah, we've seemed to add all the possession so far this game, but haven't really managed to get past the 10-metre line bar the penalty, obviously, in the first half. So that's disappointing from our point of view, but we'll bounce back, I'm sure.
Certainly disappointing for Exeter. The first time that Met really had the chance to attack, found the hole. It was easy offloads for the Archers, and as a result, Cardiff Met find themselves 7 points to 3 up with 15 minutes gone in this BUCS Super Rugby fixture, brought to you by Yoti, as Morley kicks us off again.
We know Met will be back in their offloading game as well, so those double hits, those 2-man tackles are key for us to try and stop that source.
Well, Luke Northmore was one of the players to make the burst. I mentioned him in the build-up. Red-hot form, England student, has just been out of this world this season. Are there key players that you identify that you have to try and take out of the game when preparing?
Not really. We back our system, we back the way we play. We focus on ourselves as much as we can and try to really make ourselves better rather than how we're going to adapt to the opposition. That's something we try and focus on week in, week out.
Exeter scrum time in the same position as their first scrum of the game that results in a penalty. It doesn't look like it's going to be the same result as they pass. Charlie Davies, that looked like on the burst, as Pierre Thompson has a dart, strong, scrambles through. They're 7 metres short. There's no scrum half there and no one in to collect the ball. The referee says the Met player came round from the side. No, that's for not releasing the tackler. So maybe a lucky escape for Exeter there, but a great dart from Thompson, who's really driving Exeter forward in this game.
Yeah, Pierre likes to drive off the front foot. Great carry there from Will Hollis. Front foot ball, perfect territory for Pierre.
Into the corner we go as we get a chance to quickly take a look at the try that we missed because we were interviewing Keith Fleming. There's the Northmore step, the offload, Gibson there in support, and it was all too late by the time that Essenhigh got his hands on the ball, a hand up to celebrate, a little swan dive, and the complexion of the scoreboard changed, but Exeter have their time to retort now. Dropped on the lift or taken out in the air. The referee has his hand out for advantage. Ralph says, I want to carry, and carry he does. Big carry. Taking out Dan Thurston in the process. As Gosling is held up, ripped in the contact, but the referee takes it back to the penalty. It was a shot to nothing for a line-out infringement. And you'd bet that Exeter will go to the corner again here and try and build a bit more pressure.
We'll look to back ourselves again here, I'm sure.
Pinned 3 metres out by that man Morley. The Exeter line out has been very good, just one not going to plan on the halfway line, but Gosling seems to be hitting his darts. Just getting the moisture off the ball. It is a frosty evening here, so there's a bit of dew. It's been dry all day. I had a glorious drive down here across the Severn Bridge, and Exeter will be looking for a glorious drive across the Met line. They're dragged down short, and then they hold on to the ball, and the referee gives a penalty which sends the home crowd into raptures, and that is an important repel of the Archers because Exeter were on the charge.
Yeah, that's important for Met there. Looked under pressure there, but we'll be back in that all game. We'll be back.
Massive clearance from the Archers there. That'll relieve some pressure. The throw coming to Met as well. Will, I must say, you are one of the most passionate, most unbiased co-coms we've had so far this season.
I'm trying.
Certainly pinning your colours to the mast. And there's the first line out going awry for Cardiff Met. Corey Lewis, a late change in the hooker position. Was meant to be Jack Samuel, but pulled out last minute. Corey Lewis, with plenty of BUCS experience under his belt, he started the Cardiff derby at the Arms Park in round 2. His namesake Chris Lewis scoring in the right corner on the wing. He's on the bench tonight wearing number 23. So much competition in this Met setup that he only finds himself on the bench. A little show and go. The defence buy it temporarily. They look offside to me, but nothing's called from the linesman. And Exeter doing the hard yards through the middle. Thompson again driving.
Good aggressive D there from Met, to be fair.
Will Hollis stepping in at first receiver a number of times in this play. But the back row linking up nicely there, 6-7. McMiken. Before Luke Northmore, the man we've mentioned a couple of times, the man who set up the first try, picks off a floating pass in the midfield. And in a flash, Cardiff Met have 2 tries. They're 12 points to 3 up, a kick to come. And staring down the barrel of an 11-point lead, just squeezed the pass out when it wasn't on. Northmore sniffed it out, and he had a clear run under the sticks. His substitutes there to greet him with a round of applause. And their defence has been so good. It's forced Exeter into a few errors, and every time they've got their hands on the ball, they've capitalised.
Yeah, their defence has been strong and aggressive as we predicted before the game. Really well read there, putting us under pressure even when we're attacking.
Russell Bennett, he'll kick him all night. He came into the side this season as a young fresher. He's been sharing the jersey with Harry Johnston, who is missing through injury in this BUCS Super Rugby fixture brought to you by Yoti. He's got big shoes to fill, Harry Johnston, who guided Met to the BUCS Super Rugby final last year. So Bennett now the #1 pick with fresher James Mattin. Second year James Mattin on the bench, ready to come on, but he's doing a sterling job at the moment with the boots. As Met look to exit, but that's one roll too many. From the hooker, a little bit of afters, nothing too serious between Arthur and Thompson.
Look at that lid, shocking.
And Exeter decide to plump for the poles once again. They've gone to the corner a few times, They haven't come back with any change. So Morley points to the posts. And he'll look to take this score to 14 points to 6, well within his wheelhouse. A nice silence descending upon Kincoid. As Morley eyes up the prize. Settles himself. And fires it between the uprights to make the score after 24 minutes. Cardiff Met 14, Exeter 6 in this BUCS Super Rugby fixture, brought to you by Yoti. An eerie silence descending on Cardiff Met's home ground here. It's a bit of a strange one. We're used to them being a lot noisier. As Exeter collect, they kick it long. Some big boots in that Exeter backline. But Met have an answer for it. And we're into a bit of kick tennis. Nudges. To get it over the top, and that's a fumble and a forward pass. The try scorer, Luke Northmore. Sticky hands in attack, but Butterfingers just there, collecting the kick. It bounced awkwardly behind him, then back over him, but he'll demand more of himself, the England student. And this gives some primetime real estate to the Exeter pack to turn the screw in the scrum and potentially unleash their devastating backs, who we haven't seen too much of so far, Will.
No, we haven't, unfortunately. We haven't been able to. That's probably credit to the defensive line from Cardiff Met, but hopefully here we'll get a nice clean ball for Pierre and we'll be able to see them in action.
Will Hollis lining up, looking as if he might take a short ball directly from the scrum. He's up against Barry Correa, who is his Chiefs colleague. In fact, they turned out in the same team versus Leinster back in August. How he'd like to run over him, but Pierre Thompson's running first. He's been driven all the way to the line, but has he been held up? Yes. A Met carcass gets underneath him at the last minute. Thompson's so strong in close quarters.
Close to me.
As we see a replay, tight here. We're probably viewing it from the wrong side, but the Met player did well to get himself underneath. Thompson had 2-3 teammates on his back, trying to propel him over. But they've still got good attacking position. The backs taking a similar setup as before. Morley behind the scrum, Hollis short, giving Thompson options, but Exeter will want the scrum to be tidier this time. They lost a bit of control at the back.
Yeah, nice clean ball this time.
It's unsettled from the start. They go for a reset. And Will, Exeter won't be panicking too much, being down by 8 points at this stage.
No, not at all, not at all. Like I said earlier, we back the way we play. We back our system. Obviously, we can see that we're doing really well in the upfront encounters, in the set piece, in the maul, so in the scrum. So we'll just keep battling away, keep chipping away at this scoreboard, and the tries will come.
Supreme confidence from the injured Exeter prop, and it's his props who are being called upon to do a job, and they're doing a job right now. They're absolutely obliterating the Archers scrum. Referee not giving a penalty there. Calls for a reset instead. In fact, he'd like a chat with all 6 men who are locking horns up front. Let's hear what he has to say.
Before the game, I asked about positivity, please. I asked for us to have 6 shoulders and the binds to be locked. Yeah? Now's the time to see it, please. Otherwise than that, people will leave. Yeah. Understood? Okay, thank you.
So what sort of mischief would be going on in there, Will?
Yeah, so he's asking for the long bind there, because the short bind you're really able to get an upper hand on your opponent, drag him down, twist him round. So the long bind's the fairer option, which is what he's asking for.
Good to have an expert in the front row finally on, because I've certainly got no clue what happens in those dark, horrible, damp places.
Bind. Step. Hold.
So they're locked in. A messy hook. It's in the middle, and Met take advantage, buoyed on by their crowd. The scrum disintegrates and the penalty is awarded. It came from the fluffed hook, really. The ball was bouncing around in the middle. Met sniffed an opportunity. They drove through, and the penalty's theirs, and a chance to clear the decks.
Yeah, fluffed hook, and Met only need one opportunity to pounce, especially in the scrum, so...
A modest clearing from Met to the 22 as we stop for a boot lace, and it's George Gosling's first return to action after an injury. His line-out's looking good, the scrum has been fantastic, but those tiny inaccuracies, that fluffed hook, the one loose throw at the line-out, is that the sort of rustiness that you expect?
No, I think that's fine. I think that's fine from Goz. Obviously, he's back to the squad, but we've been playing in a few Saturday games to get the fitness back up, practicing darts, practicing scrum. So that's just something that happens, I guess, in the game.
As Met looked to break, but batters into touch with a two-man hit from Pierre Thompson and number 6 Rory McMiken. We're back up to the halfway line, on that fateful side of the park that is every hooker's worst nightmare in the league, to be launching darts into the night sky. You can see a particularly fetching gold sparkly drum in the top right of your screen from one of the supporters, accompanied by the cries of the fans. It makes it difficult. That's an error from the jumper, bouncing off his head, and Jack Arthur is bashed back before Eddie Bellocco, the dynamic Italian second row, has a charge. Barry Correa links up with Northmore, drives the legs, steals a few more meters, and Essenhigh puts it on the boot. Charlie Davies back steps, he's caught though by 2 Met men. He does have support there from his teammates. They secure the ball. They're on the back foot in their 22. Once again, they haven't been here too often. The only times have been when they've been retreating after a breakaway Met try.
Bit of scuffles there, left of the ruck. Nice to see.
A few scuffles, but nothing too major. Maybe the referee's going to have a word about the passions that are beginning to bubble over. There's a little more afters. As you said, nothing wrong with a bit of biff, so long as it's all good-natured, Will.
Yeah, always good-natured, but nothing wrong with it at all.
A lot at stake in this game. Cardiff Met sitting 3rd place at the moment. Exeter, of course, top of the table. But this tracing paper separates some of the sides in the league this year. Exeter top on 45, 2nd Hartpury with 43, 3rd Cardiff Met with 42 points. Then only 2 points separate the middle part of the table, Durham, Bath and Northumbria, and then it's a bit of a dogfight down at the bottom between Beckett, Loughborough, Trent and Cardiff. Some big names finding themselves in that relegation tussle. I use the R word tentatively because it's the first time we've had relegation in the league this year.
Yeah, it's a new element to the league. Both the teams playing today hopefully will be able to avoid it, but yeah, new element, something to look forward to, and even more to play for with BUCS Super Rugby. So very exciting.
Guys, can I have both the skippers and both number 4s, please?
The referee calling over both captains and the 2 number 4s.
to start off with, it ends there. But, okay? I don't want to see any more of it. If we do, then there'll be consequences, okay? What we've seen is a bit of a push and a shove. You've then closed fist with force, push to the chest, yeah? It's a yellow card offence, okay? Off you go, please. Penalty is by you against number 4.
So Jack Arthur seeing yellow for a closed fist punch with force to the chest of one of the Exeter players. He's given his marching orders. A penalty to Exeter, a cheap exit for the Green Machine, and a big loss for Cardiff Met. Jack Arthur, one of their most influential players, man of the match in their opening game of the season. He's worn the captain's armband as well. Creates a devastating partnership with Eddie Baloko. Met will be down to 14 men. They'll be seeing off this half, one short, and opening the opening 4 minutes rather of the second half. A chance for Exeter to capitalise. But they're unable to do so. The throw not straight. And it's a choice for Met here of a scrum or a line out. They go back for the line out with it in mind that they're down to 7 players. They've been under pressure all game. Be interesting to see how they try and see this half out, Will.
Yeah, they'll be looking to keep it in the forwards, I would imagine. Maybe spread it wide if they see some space, but first of all, win the line out here.
Very good line out from the Archers. They offload it back to Will Gibson, who carries, and they carry again through the middle. Nice little tips. They bounce back to the blind side. A little kick through from Essen High. Denty chases, but he can't get there. He's beaten by the touchline. And it's an Exeter throw on the 22. Gosling's throw under pressure at the moment. It's been a combination of his throw and jumpers maybe not doing their job, but this time they pouch it. That's more like it, cries Will here in the commentary booth. As they clear up to the halfway line, but Met will counter. Tom Benjamin with his hands on the ball. Dragged down. Northmore feeds, Correa, the Exeter chief. Is he going to do the damage against Exeter Uni? He offloads, but a retreating Exeter player swipes the ball.
Back, please.
And it's opening up a little bit here in the latter stages of the first half. Thompson slows things down, gives it to Morley, who keeps it in play again. Down the throat of Denty, that fresher. Correa, who just made that break that got the crowd going, is ripped in the contact. It's a dogfight on the floor, but Met come away with it again. One forward tips it on to another. Essen High feeds it wide to Russell Bennett, who finds Lewis. It's a knock on in the midfield from Met. Chance for Exeter to counter. Scrappy period of play with possession changing hands a lot here. Can Morley unlock this defence? There's numbers here for Exeter. But the Archers' defence is solid again. Tips was the call. The big lasher holds on to it. Nothing comes of the play as the referee takes it back for advantage. An Exeter scrum, it brings to an end a bit of a frenetic period there, Will.
Yeah, a bit more of the backs in play there, which is always nice to see, I guess. Yeah, we hope that we can win this ball back now and we can have a bit more of our backs in play.
Yeah, certainly tonight's one of those nights that you love to be a forward because you're charging around, working hard, keeping warm, whereas some of the poor wingers are going to be there just rubbing their hands together, wishing they were wearing the gloves that we are.
Yeah, they'll need their thermals, that's for sure.
Speaking of your backs, I'm interested in the setup with Sam Morley and Will Hollis. Will Hollis often starting at 10 for you. You've got a number of ball players in that 7 that you put out.
Yeah, well, Hollis Hollis is a good ball carrying centre. Really works really well off the ball that Sam Morley can give him. The backline's functioning really well this season. Good forward play. Gives the ball nicely for Pierre at the base of the rucks.
As we see a bit of attention there to Matt Blee, who's operating somewhat behind southwest enemy lines, a Cornish under 20, plying his trade in Devon for Exeter Uni and the Braves. In fact, was injured playing for the Braves against Saracen Storm last year, so good to have him back in a run of games. Yet to see him with his hands on the ball. Maybe a chance now as Exeter have a stable scrum in the middle where it goes down. It's becoming a bit of an unsavoury feature of this half at the moment, the scrum resets and the problems. Started all very well, but it's certainly something the referee will be looking to rectify for the second 40.
You can see how hard both the forward packs have worked here, the steam coming off them. They'll be looking for this scrum to stay up this time.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Hold.
Well, the Exeter scrum is back to its former glory, demolishing the Met scrum. No advantage from the referee, curiously, forcing Jack Rouse to pick up. It's untidy ball now, but Exeter do well. And they charge on. They're greeted by that big Met defence, which has been a feature of this half, but gaps are opening up out here wide to the left if Exeter can find the spaces.
Time off, boys, time off.
Serious injury in the middle calls a halt to the game with the play zigzagging back. You see who's down there? Well,
that's our tight head prop by looks of it, Joe Salkeld.
Not a man that Exeter will want out of the game for too long. The former Wasps under 18 player featured in the Premiership Finals day against Exeter, in fact. So another man plying his trade behind enemy lines these days.
Chance to get a refuel on now, the water for both teams. Bit of info from the sideline, see out the rest of this half.
Few messages as well being delivered, no doubt. And what would those messages be? To just see this half out, get into the sheds and come out flying for the next 40?
I think so. I think most of what we've been doing is positive. Most of what we've been doing is front foot ball. It's just the Cardiff Met D, credit to them. They've been coming up, they've been flying up, doing really well, so credit to them.
As we see a shot of the Exeter bench there, and the man mountain, Matt Johnson. Huge scrummaging presence sitting on the bench there for Exeter. Bit of a favourite of my co-commentator Dave Rogers. He likes to big him up every time he's involved in a game. What does he bring?
Yeah, Jono's a big lad. He sets the scrum well. He really buries himself in there, and a big lad that can really cause damage to opposition scrums, as we saw against Leeds.
As you saw against Leeds. Well, when you played Leeds, probably a good time to play them. They were in a bit of a rut, but wow, have they gone on a charge in recent times. 3 games on the spin they've won, nearly 40 points in 2 of them, 36 in the other one. They're really starting to find their form after underperforming, I'd say, in the opening half of the season. Will.
Yeah, that's fair enough. They're always a strong team. We were really happy with the way we played against them, so probably one of our best performances, so we were really happy with the way we played.
Exeter get a chance for one last attack as our clock enters the red. Our clock just an estimate, we're not in time exactly with the referee. But Exeter happy to throw things around, they haven't lost any of their sense of adventure. Great carry through the middle from Sam Leahy. Takes Exeter to the 10-metre line.
Leave!
Before they go route one.
Leave!
Referee allowing the would-be jackalers to have quite a significant nibble on the ball at breakdown time. As Exeter are driven back towards the halfway and stripped in the tackle, and here's a chance for Met late in the game. Massive hit in the midfield, flying in from Josh Peters. The Exeter defence is scrambling. Essenhigh puts it on the toe, it's touched by an Exeter boot. Into touch. And as I said, our clock just an estimate. It looks like we'll have time for the line out. It's going to be an Archer's throw. No, it's going to be an Exeter throw. Maybe my eye's deceiving me there. I'm not sure what you made of it, Will.
Always Exeter throw for me.
I thought that may well be the answer, Will. Gosling will want to nail this one. They go to their banker ball at the front. McMeekan patching it this time. He's impressed me this half. Very dynamic in the loose. Good line-out option clearly at the front. Also put some good hits in.
9 last ones, okay?
Good line-out option considering his eye, I guess. But no, he's been a really good talisman for us. He's been injured for a while, but having him back for this game is a real positive for us because he's a real good ball carrier, a real good defender. So yeah, really looking forward to him playing for us for the rest of the term, the rest of the season.
Well, he's certainly announcing himself to us tonight in this BUCS Super Rugby fixture, brought to you by Yoti. We're coming to the close of an exciting first half. Cardiff Met will definitely be the happier of the two. But they'll go into the sheds knowing that Exeter have the ability to control possession. And if they can find a way to unlock the home defence, they've got threats on the field. But at the moment, the Archers have an answer for everything the green machine is throwing at them. They go back to the left.
8 leave! Back.
No scrum half. Sees Blee go in.
Use.
Morley calls for it. Show and go. Ooh, half a gap. Closed at the last minute.
1 leave. No.
Thompson to Capon. Tackled. Quick ball for Exeter here. Can they get it wide? Carried by Saltfeld.
Okay, Cap. 8 roll.
Capon with another carry. He's been busy this half. Thompson, show and go, darts through, footwork on the last man. Benjamin handles him, but the offload is good. Exeter, they're 10 metres out. What a moment this would be to score. Thompson does the show and go again, and he's now 5 metres out. This is scramble defence for Cardiff Met.
Use.
Into pick and go territory. We like this area.
Pick and go is the call of the day from my co-coms World Cup Bill. He's a man who's been in these situations a number of times for EURFC, but it looks like a turnover at the last opportunity. And it's kicked out over the dead ball line, which signals the end of an exciting first half of rugby here down at Kincoid. No lack of endeavour out there. Cardiff Met ruthlessly taking their opportunities, leaving Exeter very frustrated after a fearsome 40 minutes of rugby. Half-time here at Kincoid in this BUCS Super Rugby fixture, brought to you by Yoti, is Cardiff Met 14, Exeter University 6.
Just a little bit more proactive at the right time, just a little bit more of an effort to roll back into the night. The ruck area is where they're building it.
Fine, okay, so I'll have a word with that.
Yeah.
Just 2 things first, if that's okay. Just the loose
As I said, Cardiff Met utterly ruthless in their attacking approach in that half, yielding 2 tries to the home side.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'll have a look at that.
Which we have coming up for you here. And Will, you're probably best placed to talk us through what happened here defensively for Exeter and what Met did well.
Yeah, probably just a mismatch there. You see our tight head defending a really good quality centre, works his way through, and then good offloads, good play from Cardiff Met, and under the posts.
So under the post, that was pretty much Cardiff Met's first attack, first visit to the red zone, in fact, and Essenhigh running the intelligent, smart trailing support line, giving himself as an inside option. to get over under the sticks to make the conversion very easy, and then it was a dreaded interception from Luke Northmore.
Yeah, well read there again. Fair play. The defensive line's been coming up fast, putting us under pressure, so fair play. Well read.
An easy run in for the arch try scorer Luke Northmore. No one scored more for Cardiff Met this season. That was his 7th, taking up to 2nd in the charts of top try scorers. Toby Venner and Irvin Murick of Hartbury leading the way at the moment with 8 tries apiece. Luke Northmore hot on their heels with a crucial try there that really opened the game up. It put Met into a 14-3 lead, and it had Exeter fighting to get their way back in, but they did through the boot of Sam Morley, but they just haven't been able to penetrate the Cardiff Met defence so far. So, team talks at the moment, and time to hear from our sponsors, Yoti.
It was so much easier because I had already set up on the app about 3 months ago actually when it first came to the island.
I really like how simple it was to use.
The kind of convenience we want in this holidays that we live in.
Like, you don't really want to carry your passport around on night out, you're always going to have a phone on you.
The convenience to be able to go up and get my phone and just scan a thing.
It's just easy, you have all your stuff in one place.
And it makes life a lot easier when you're trying to prove your age and quite versatile as well.
Yoti protecting your digital identity there, and a key component in airing these BUCS Super Rugby fixtures that we are bringing to you every Wednesday until the final at Twickenham. And the cameras were all around the ground for the last round of action, where there's some fantastic tries, including Exeter's ones against tonight's opposition. So check out the try lights from round 12. Wow, we miss out on seeing Charlie Parkhouse's electric finish there because we're about ready to get things back underway here at Kincoid. Cardiff Met leading at the moment, 14 points to 6. Exeter clearing long up to the Met 22, and it's a counter-attack. There's a small gap, but a big hit in the middle from Jack Capon. The economic student. We've not seen much of him in BUCS Super Rugby, but that's not reflective of the class of the player. He's been busy representing Bristol Bears regularly in the A-League. A real talent in the back row. What an embarrassment of riches you've got there with the likes of Richard Capstick as well. And Exeter, they start with a bang. They're up, approaching the 22 of the home side. And they've got some real fire coming out in this half. They'll want to score early. Charlie Davies on that trademark inside line. We've seen it so many times throughout this season, coming in off his wing, looking for work, and there's space out wide if they can use their hands. But a good tackle up high, smothers the attempt.
Yeah, it looks like we've had a few stern words at half-time. We've come out all guns blazing.
Certainly had. That looked high from Arthur, who, I'm wondering, his yellow card must have been served. Obviously our timer a little bit off here. But he starts things with a shot that was looking like it was veering high. Another one there goes unpunished by the referee. Exeter not making any progress. But the penalty's called this time for the high tackle. Couple of seatbelt challenges in that passage of play, something Met will want to watch out for. Certainly Jack Arthur on a yellow card. He'll be enthusiastic to make up for that. He needs to maybe control those urges so that they're all legal, Will.
Yeah, he'll be coming back looking to make a right's wrong, so just needs to be careful of the few high tackles he's made.
A shot there of Keith Fleming, the Exeter head coach, the doyen of Exeter University Rugby. Such a huge programme down there that he oversees, but his primary focus tonight is getting the W here for the men who are top of the table as it stands. But this result would throw that into disarray should Met come out on top.
Once.
As Exeter build their drive, we saw a taste of it in those try lights at half-time. They've got the nudge on, they're continuing to go, but they're dragged down short once again. 3 metres short. Thompson is geeing his boys on. They're keeping it tight in the forwards. They did so last time, but it resulted in a knock-on. Gosling's there. He latches. They're 2 metres out now. Peters, is he going to get across? The referee's in prime position. But it's held up once again. Twice now Met have held up Exeter in last gasp attempts. This time Will Gibson, the hero. But Exeter looking a lot better.
Yeah, usually lethal from those areas is Josh, but just didn't have the men around him to help shove him those last few inches. Another scrum now. We'll see what the Packs have come out with after half time.
Crouch.
Both sets of front row spoken to in the first half by the referee.
Set. Hold.
He's laid down the law. Still.
Slip, yeah.
There's a bit of ballyhoo there. It's just a slip.
I do agree with you though, it'd be nice to see a scrum not reset, as much as I am enjoying it.
Well, 2 impressive Packs who do enjoy a scrummage. It would be nice if they could play ball with each other, because the resets are becoming a little bit turgid. But it's early days in this second half, Will, so fingers crossed this one's a clean one. We saw a pattern towards the end, Exeter beginning to march Met forward once again. The referee reluctant to give a penalty, so maybe they're going to have to go all the way with their drive as they take their first steps, their pioneering steps.
Use.
Met go down, the referee shouts use. Will, you sigh next to me, you're not sure about this.
Yeah, the ball's at the back there, not really going forward. Maybe we should have taken it out, but we'll go again. Why not?
I'm just asking, I couldn't hear you. Right. Here we go, then our ball off for this one. And it gets Go. Right. Let's go, come on. Keep an eye on this side, Let's go. Both shoulders, please.
Here we go. Take 4 of the Exeter scrum.
Crouch.
On the Cardiff Met 5 metre line. Held up a moment ago by a despairing Will Gibson.
Keep it up.
His job is now to keep his props in as the Met elbow goes on the floor. But Exeter choose to pass it. Hollis carries heavily through the middle. But he's dragged down 2 metres short.
Use.
Another carry from the forwards.
Tackle and leave.
Thompson's in there. But he goes over the top. It's going to be another forward carry. They're aiming for that post. We see Exeter Chiefs do it weekend in, weekend out. Is there something in the water in Devon that we're going to see Exeter University do the very same to their Welsh neighbours? The crowd try and cheer Cardiff Met's defence on to repel this Exeter onslaught.
Drop, please.
But they're remaining composed. They've squared across a bit more, and there is the try finally. Pierre Thompson, he lets his forwards do the grunt work, do the dirty work, and then takes the glory himself, but they won't care because they have their first try of the game, and with the kick to come, it could be Cardiff Met 14, Exeter 13.
Yeah, I don't mind who scored that one. Nice to see us get a try. The forwards do the hard work. Pierre gets a try. Shock maybe, but no, fair credit to him. He's there when we need him.
Well, that takes Pierre to 8 tries for the campaign, level with Toby Venner and Irvin Murick, who I mentioned earlier in the commentary. They'll be playing tonight, though, so they could be burgeoning their try-scoring tally. At the moment, all eyes down in the diff, because this is a crucial kick for Sam Morley. Well, how about that? Best seats in the house as Morley bisects the poles. He's studying sports science, but he's got a PhD in the School of Kicking. All that work he's doing with your coach Tony Yap, Stu and Dave Allred, bearing fruit in this BUCS Super Rugby fixture, brought to you by Yoti. It's Cardiff Met 14, Exeter 13, and we've got a real game on our hands.
Drop there, give possession back to Cardiff Met. That's exactly what they'll be looking for after our score.
Scrum advantage, okay?
The Exeter coaching team will be pulling their hair out after that. Such a basic principle is to claim the kickoff and get out of your danger zone. It's when you're most vulnerable after you score.
Nice, still got a scrum advantage, okay?
But a careless knock-on gives Met field position.
Next one is advantage over, okay?
And the chance to reply. Ref has called advantage over.
Advantage is over.
Northmore carries again through the middle. That boy does it all.
Back.
Steals extra yards as well. They go right. Korea.
Back.
Essen High feeds Bennett, who finds Aled Ward, the captain. Wrestles his way through the tackle, down to the floor. They flash it left, it's out the back. Northmore bounces his man off, but he knocks on in the process. But it was a penalty advantage for offside from the back line.
Offside, always a frustrating penalty to give away. We're looking to put an aggressive D set like Cardiff were doing to us in the first half, just a little bit maybe too much on our toes there.
Well, all that pressure, of course, brought from the knock-on, from the kick-off. Exeter's defence stood up to it, but then they infringe with the offside. And it's going to be the first time we've seen Cardiff Met get an opportunity to build their imperious driving maul. If they can hit their marker, there's questions to be answered from the green defensive wall. The ball in Corey Lewis's hands. Who's he going to go for? He finds Jack Arthur, the man returning from the yellow card, and that's a sturdy looking maul.
Green back around, 8 back around.
They squeeze around the right corner, they continue to go forward. Where's the ball? Nobody knows. It's there at the back and it's held up a metre short.
Okay, let it come, Green, let it come,
The ball's down, ball, they go short. Yes, they do.
Back, 5
tackle.
back.
Still 1 metre out.
No, stay.
Need a strong defensive set here from Exeter.
Yes, good.
A lot of pressure. Matt Johnson in there, the man mountain. He's come on at half-time. What can he offer in defence? A big hit, that's what. They're 2 metres out, they flash it right. Northmore on the charge. Halted in his tracks. They go quickly again. Essen High, show and go, but he's
held up nicely.
Manacled by
release,
green
release
jerseys.
tackler.
Ball's out the back. what pressure Exeter are under. It goes right, a dummy over the top, one bounce, collected by the winger, an offload, and Tom Benjamin gets across the line into the right corner, and that's the reply that the home side were looking for, and takes the score to Cardiff Met 19, Exeter 13.
Lethal from an offload again from Met.
Well, they were patient, they wanted to go wide, they tried to go wide a number of times. It was Northmore on the crash in the middle before they eventually forced it out to that right wing. It wasn't the best of passes. One bounce, a pick up and an offload is all it took. And Tom Benjamin, the England student, with no one to beat, over in the corner. And a big kick for his 10, Russell Bennett. A humdinger of a game we've got here. Despite the cries from the crowd, the kick misses the upright, so the score is 19 points to 13 in the favour of the home side, as we head down to our touchline roving reporter Alex, who has got the Cardiff Met coach Danny Milton.
Use!
So, Danny, I thought I was going to be coming to you after that early try.
Drop!
Saying how frustrating it was, but a great response from Cardiff Met boys.
Yeah, really pleased. We're making life difficult for ourselves at the moment. Conceded a lot of penalties, seem to be on the wrong side of the ref, and you know, you do that and Exeter are going to punish you. So we've got to make sure that we keep that penalty count low in the last half an hour.
And that was kind of the story of the first half, wasn't it? I mean, 2 great tries from it. That Luke Northmore intercept try was outstanding. But then obviously straight afterwards giving the penalty away. How frustrating is that?
Yeah, it is at the moment. We don't seem to, whatever we're doing, we're not getting on the right side, so we've got to try and work with him and make sure that we keep our discipline and start doing the things that are going to keep us on side. So I think if we do keep hold of the ball, we do look a threat tonight.
And was that the words to the boys at half-time, just keep hold of the ball in the second half?
Yeah, I think we want to make sure we get good field position, don't give away those cheap penalties, and then try and keep hold of the ball a little bit more, and hopefully we'll get on that score sheet.
And it is a bit of a brutal battle out there tonight. Just your thoughts on that Jack Arthur yellow card in the first half?
Yeah, I'd have to see it again. I was a long way away, and the referee and the assistant touch judges much closer to it than me. Seemed very little in it, but again, you've got to go with the referees on these decisions.
Fab, thanks Danny. Best luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Come on, they got to use that now.
Well, Danny Milton there clearly taking interview diplomacy lessons from Arsene Wenger. Too far away for him to see the incident that resulted in his player being carded, as we see Will Hollis charge through the middle. Big ball carrying Will Hollis against his buddy Barry Correa on the opposing side. And Exeter now attacking off the back of a Cardiff Met error from the kickoff. We're beginning to see these errors creep in.
Jono!
As Matt Johnson, you hear there from Will, very excited to see him carrying, but he's stripped. Lovely inside ball there to the substitute, Harvey Scott. Knocked on in the process, he'll be livid with himself for that. Cardiff Met's player of the year last year. A quality player again, an embarrassment of riches in the Archers setup, much like Exeter. To have the luxury of Harvey Scott on the bench really is something.
Yeah, ready guys, yeah, sorry. Oh, sorry.
But it's his knock-on that presents Exeter with a chance to bite back. With Russell Bennett's missed conversion, they're within a converted score.
Crouch!
I can see this one being a tense finish, Will.
Yeah, it'll be exciting to see, especially now Jono's come on, how this scrum goes, but the rest of the game is going to be tight, yeah. 2 defences, 2 attacks, both impenetrable at the moment.
Well, more shenanigans at scrum time. Becoming a little bit tiresome for us here in the comms box, and I'm sure for you at home.
Seconds.
You might see a blanket yellow card for a couple of props
Crouch.
if it doesn't rectify itself. We've got some new personnel in there,
Bind.
notably Johnson.
Set.
So hopefully we can see a change.
Positive, please, positive.
Met seem to be in the ascendancy there, but
Angle.
the referee awards the penalty to Exeter, and this is going to be interesting. Do they take the point, or will they go for the corner where they've tried and failed? I can see from Morley's body language, it's getting pinned in the corner.
Yeah, we'll be looking to get another try on the boards and work our way into the lead. Classic nowhere call there as well. It's always nice to see.
That's why I'm asking for that shoulder. Okay.
Some brave fans there in our camera shop. It is bitterly cold down here. As I said, a lovely, lovely day and night
Okay, leave.
down in the Welsh capital.
Use.
Exeter thwarted immediately. The driving line out sacked. They seem to not be committing a player and then bringing one round because there's no offside line.
Yeah, defending it well at the moment, Ahmet.
Leave.
As Exeter continue with the unglamorous work of picking and going from 5 metres out. They grind their way to 4.5 metres out, but there's a bit of space, which is closed up immediately. Again, working their way round the same corner, getting closer to the uprights. Most difficult part of the field to defend. They're right back to the position that saw
9, leave.
Pierre Thompson dart over
Tackler, leave. Release
to
tackler.
open the scoring in the second half. They're 1 metre away
please.
now. Another carry, they think they've got over. There's a cry of yes, but no, it's still short. The referee's down on his haunches. Can he see the ball down? Yes, he can!
Try time!
On the line.
He awards it after a slow, long deliberation. Picks the ball out amongst the massive players. And Exeter have their second try of the game, and more importantly, a kick at goal to take the lead.
Rory McMeekan there gets the try, but great work from the forwards from that collapsed maul.
No, back, please.
Rory
After the
McMeekan
kick.
with his third try in BUCS Super Rugby this season. So impressive, loose around the park, showing that he can mix it with the best of them in the tight stuff too. Just eking his way over. And it's back with Morley, who has been impeccable from the tee all night.
Similar position to the last kick as well.
And an identical outcome takes Exeter into the lead. 20 points to 19 with 60 minutes gone in this BUCS Super Rugby fixture brought to you by Yoti. 20 minutes remaining and a tense finish ahead of us. Keith Fleming will be delighted with the way the boys have responded after the half-time.
Yeah, we've responded really well after half-time, really fronted up. We'll still be disappointed with how our maul's going on. We usually rock hard in that area, but we've got a few more opportunities this game, I'm sure, and prove a few wrongs.
Well, Cardiff Met won't be phased. They've played so well throughout this game. Another kickoff goes high into the night sky, and another kickoff is fumbled in exactly the same spot. There seems to be a bit of a problem in communication there for EURFC, and Cardiff Met get their chance to attack right from the get-go once again. It was a try last time for Tom Benjamin. They're 1 try shy of the bonus point. But it's the victory first and foremost they're looking to clinch. They go a bit too quickly for the referee.
Guys.
That should have been our scrum there. They knocked that out.
Tell them the numbers, please. Eight, leave!
Fantastic line out, a dummy peel from Aled Ward, sees Essen High dart through.
Back.
Harvey Scott carries. He's a big man, plenty of drive, plenty of guts. And he takes them to 15 metres out. This time Dan Kennett, the defendable front rower. Battle hardened from his time in the Welsh leagues, takes them on again. Harvey Scott, working hard since his introduction.
Let it come!
Takes them to within 10. They flash back left, Scott once more. Essen High darts down the left. Charlie Davies captures his man, and Will Morris is swung into the touchline. We saw a similar try that Met scored against you guys when they played you at Topsham, but no such luck this time.
Yeah, Charlie Davis using the touchline, the cliche of an extra defender there, using it very well, so fair play.
Big pressure throw here
11
for Andy Hamilton, who's entered the fray in place of George Gosling. We mentioned returning from injury.
Yeah, Andy started the game against Cardiff at home, so he's got a bit of game time against these boys, so I know exactly what to expect.
Big first throw, but he nails it.
18, leave!
Easy for Big Lasher, jumping up there at 4. No pressure from Cardiff Met. As Exeter maul it up a few more yards. But have they been held up here? The referee calls maul. They'll need to get it to the floor.
16, joining from the side.
And in their haste, that man Hamilton charges in from the side. The referee awards a penalty, and the pressure right back on the away side.
Number, sorry, 16. 16 is in the start.
Keeping us pinned back in the corner here.
Lines are middle.
Keeping the pressure on.
It goes into the corner for another front row replacement. Sean Howard this time with his first throw of the night. What a crucial one it is. Jack Arthur claims it superbly.
Fall back around!
And they've got momentum on the drive. It's
he's taking that down himself.
But it's still up, and they've still got a chance to get it across. The arms go aloft, and the referee has given it. That is the bonus point try, and that puts Cardiff Met back into the lead once more. It was a heap of bodies down there, but you could tell immediately from the reaction from the home side that it was a try, and it looks like it's the replacement, Sean Howard. First throw of the night, first naming by the commentary team, and it's a try, a crucial one at that.
Yeah, it looked like it had collapsed there, but they did well to shuffle it round to the left and keep them all going and dots it down in the corner.
Is well built. It looked to have been sacked initially, but they managed to splinter off quite expertly.
Difficult to kick from the touchline, this.
Certainly. Another grandstand view though from our roving cameraman out there. Doing a fantastic job of bringing us right into the action. Well, you don't see much nicer kicks than that. With Harry Johnson cropped, the fresher Russell Bennett has picked up the baton to conduct the concerto of Kincoid. with a touchline conversion that takes the score to 26-20 in this BUCS Super Rugby fixture, brought to you by Yoti. Another bounce on the kickoff. Exeter are all over Cardiff Met. They know they need to respond swiftly. They've only 15 minutes. They did it last time.
No, stay.
But Met are a bit tidier on their exits on this occasion. Aled Ward takes another carry.
You have the feeling that the next points in this game are going to be crucial.
Use
so
nine.
they go to Exeter.
They could well be decisive, but there's plenty of ball to play. The box goes long. It's fielded by Joe Elderkin. A man with sevens coursing through his veins. We haven't really seen much of him or a chance for his counter-attacking prowess to shine.
Nudges.
So that is a good kick. It's put Aled Ward under pressure, but what a great job he does in flying out of his 22. But it's gone loose, and Matt Blee picks it up.
Back.
After doing such good work, a sloppy offload gives the ball back to Exeter. And they're 25 metres out. Morley pulling the strings. Capon on the burst once again.
8, offside.
Pierre Thompson tries to go quickly,
8,
but Morley tells him no. He wants it in the corner. He wants his big men to do the grunt once more.
Exeter will be looking to set this maul up probably better than our other sets here. Get a nice base set and then drive it over.
Certainly they'll be looking to take a leaf out of their opponent's book. They've had so much more success with such fewer opportunities from their driving lineouts. Is this the time that Exeter finally make one stick?
Stay, 20, stay.
It's taken cleanly.
20 leave, let it come.
But it's dragged to the floor once again. Exeter just haven't been able to crank their maul through the gears. Jack Rouse
tackle and release.
Carries heavily through the middle. He doesn't like losing in a green jersey. Will Hollis. They can't quite grab him. They do this time. They're 5 metres out, Exeter. The call, short. Exeter are happy to be patient, happy to be composed. This try scorer, McMeekin.
Got to work in twos here.
12 drop.
They go a bit higher with more numbers this time. They're 2 metres out.
No, stay.
Jack Rouse. Tackle to the floor.
Use.
McMeekin the latch this time.
Okay, let it come. Blue, let it
heap
come.
of bodies there.
Got to work as a group to get through this Cardiff Met defence. They're not going to let individuals through.
And that is across the line from where I can see, but the referee adjudges it to have been held up. He was in the perfect position from our camera angle. That looked to have been dotted down.
You can see Jono devastated there. Doesn't get over the line that often.
Well, he's got to cross the line twice this season. He thought he had his third. We'll see if we can get a replay of that just there.
Yeah, tried.
Right across the line there. Before the Met players stealthily slipped in to deceive the referee. But it's still Exeter ball. They can't be disheartened by it. There's no TMOs in this league. They know that. They just need to keep turning the screw and winding up this pressure.
Hopefully that's fired us up now and we see a powerful scrum from the Exeter boys.
Angle, please. Crouch. Bind. Set. Hold. 9, leave him alone.
Big scrum from Exeter. Cardiff Met are being walked back. The referee goes to his whistle. Says both front rows have stood up. But Exeter are the ones who are more pleased from that skirmish. Alid Ward remonstrating with the touch judge, just out of shot. He comes back in there. And Exeter have another bite at the cherry.
Crucial for both teams.
You said yourself the next score would be absolutely pivotal.
Shoulder and angle, please. Angle, please. Angle, please. Put him on his angle out more, please. You need your angle out, please.
More dark arts being practiced there in the front row. So we see the try scorer there, Pierre Thompson. We've seen him snipe over from this range a number of times already this season. He's got one already tonight. If I was a betting man, it would be that Exeter are going to try and keep this in and drive the Archers over. And they've got that initial momentum, they've got that nudge, it's travelling in the right direction. The armour of advantage is out. Thompson picks it up, can he get over? No, he can't, he's just short. Advantage still being played. All the Exeter forwards clustering around the ball like bees to the honey. But can they get across for that sweet, sweet try that's going to take them into the lead, surely?
Move back! No.
Johnson gets his just desserts, having been denied only moments before. Like a ginger ninja, he snipes across the line and gives Morley a kick in front of the sticks to give Exeter a 26-27 advantage.
A very stealthy ginger ninja, I should say.
Very much so. Johnson with his third try in BUCS Super Rugby. Seems like a popular member of the squad. And ice cool Sam Morley with the responsibility of putting this one over. Keeps his head guard on. Nonchalant run up. And the score is Cardiff Met 26, Exeter University 27 in this BUCS Super Rugby fixture brought to you by Yoti. There is 7 minutes to go. And it is impossible to separate these sides at the moment.
Backward.
The ball goes backwards this time. Again, an untidy reception. But it's better than the last two, which have led to Cardiff Met tries on both occasions.
Stay. Back.
And a nice long exit up to the halfway line. Jack Arthur collects it. He's a big man, he's a powerful man, but he's got wonderful hands, as we saw there on the kickoff collection and the offload. It's not panic stations for Cardiff Met by any stretch of the imagination as they go to career in the middle to carry forward.
Eight lead.
Fierce defence from Exeter, sending Cardiff backwards.
And it's a knock-on from Met. Their narrow play wasn't bearing fruit, so they went wide. They've knocked it on, and now Exeter on the attack. McMeekan, the man,
Can't the advantage, lazy runner.
carrying. It's a penalty advantage. What a coach killer, but it's a chip in through to the back, and there's so many green jerseys around the Met who mops up the debris. You wonder a bit more advantage could have been played there, because there were nearly 7 players surrounding one Met man.
Yeah, didn't quite see it on our camera angle how many men we had compared to them, but we've got the penalty, so we'll come back for that.
Well,
and we'll back them all by the looks of it.
They do go back, and I think such is the nature of the game that Exeter would have gone for the points to leave them more than a penalty in front, but they want this bonus point. They know how important these bonus points are. And Sam Morley duly nudges it into the corner.
That's the alignment.
We'll be looking for a much better setup here off this maul than we've had previously.
Exeter out, please.
Well, it's going to be a case of 12th time lucky, hopefully, for Exeter.
All we need is one.
8 leave!
All you
8
need
leave!
is one. Again,
8
sacked
leave!
early by Cardiff Met. Exeter splinter away, and we're back to the usual story of Exeter picking and going from close range, sucking in numbers, suffocating the Met defence into either an infringement or finding a hole.
8 leave! Leave!
They're 2 metres out now.
Like I said earlier, it's crucial you work in 2s and 3s here because this Met defence is lethal. Won't let you through on your own.
Held up once again. Exeter very much the team with the momentum at the moment. They found the winning formula to get across the Met line, and they're willing to prescribe it again and again and again at the moment. It really is a dominant forwards display in this second half. They are leading by an absolute whisker, but a score here could make their lead unassailable and provide them with a bonus point.
Seconds in! Wait! Come on! Everything now!
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Another reset again. As the clock counts down.
Yes, all of this playing into Exeter's hands at the moment. They'll be happy to see the seconds tick away whilst playing their rugby in the Cardiff Met red zone. I'm going to have to ask you to have a think about your man of the match as well, Will, in tonight's game. Obviously, with the game on a knife edge, it's a tricky one to call, so maybe I'll give you another scrum's worth of thinking time. But certainly there's some contenders who performed very well for both sides.
Definitely, yeah.
Crouch! Bind! Set! Hold! Stay, right, nice. Use
Progress
knife!
is slow for Exeter. The referee asks them to use it. Pierre Thompson goes for it again.
Stay.
Dragged down 2
10
metres
leaves.
short. Jack Rouse this time. He's looking for a score to cap off a performance. But he goes nowhere. Wrestled back.
Back! Back! Back, please! To the middle! Don't
Exeter
kick it!
clustering around the ball once again, all the forwards.
Tackle and release!
You can't
Release.
see this going out to the hands of the backs. Scream as they may.
Not anytime soon anyway.
Leave.
They've had so much success. They're mitigating risk. They're creating opportunity. And are they fashioning the final nail in the Cardiff Met coffin?
Lost it forward.
Not just yet. They've lost it forward in that tight exchange, which means that Cardiff Met have a scrum on their 5 metre line.
He's lost it forward, okay?
They've got all of 100 metres to go.
Going forward, that's what it's for.
As they're only 1 point in arrears, all they need is a penalty. Will Exeter be left to rue the decision to go to the corner when they had the easy kick for their assassin Sam Morley to put through the poles and lead 26-30? Well, time will tell. Met have got a mountain to climb.
Need to win this scrum first.
And it all starts, as you said, Will, with this scrum.
Set! Hold!
but they find a hole through their go-to man, Luke Northmore. They're 20 metres from their line now. Good pickup, low on the floor.
12, leave!
Exeter tackling furiously.
Back.
Met. They're showing adventure and offload, but it goes loose. Exeter have the ball.
Yes, that's clear. Back.
Thompson passes back to Morley, who puts it into the stand. The referee blows his whistle, and Exeter have squeaked the narrowest of victories down in the Welsh capital. Tries galore in the second half, but it's Exeter who come out on top by just 1 point in this BUCS Super Rugby fixture, brought to you by Yoti. It is Cardiff Met 26, Exeter University 27, in a victory that could have major ramifications on where the title will be heading come the end of the season. World Cup, Bill, what do you make of that?
Aggressive physical encounter, as it always is down here. Credit to both sides. Really gave everything, left it all on the pitch. So hopefully, well, I believe anyway, the better team won, but credit to Cardiff Met. They really stuck out it right through the end.
Exeter certainly had their fair share of possession, and they eventually did make their chances count after the miserly defence of the home side shut them out. But it was Met who came out second best. As we have a look at the tries, it was opened up by Cardiff Met with that burst from Luke Northmore. Laurie Essenhigh sliding across after the support play by Will Gibson. That was an example of Cardiff Met's ruthless finishing, as we saw the opportunistic Northmore bag his 7th try of the season with an intercept brought about by pressure from the Cardiff Met line speed. Here we see again, just squeezed out, and Northmore didn't need a second invitation to snap it up and sear under the sticks. But then it was Tom Benjamin. He was scoring in the right-hand corner for Cardiff Met in the second half. That was after Pierre Thompson had got one back for the visitors.
Yeah, so there's been a few really good players out today. Northmore for Cardiff Met was outstanding in the centres, as was Will Hollis with a few great carries for us. But for me, the man of the match is Exeter's number 6, Rory McMeekan, all over the park today. Great carries, great in defence, and got the try as well to his name. So well done, Rory.
Well, Rory McMeekan with the man of the match. He got a try in all that action as well. The tries for Exeter coming from Pierre Thompson, Rory McMeekan and Matt Johnson. Only seeing the Cardiff Met tries here at the moment. That was the try from their substitute, Sean Howard, who put them back into the lead, 26-20. Another well-constructed driving maul. But it was Matt Johnson who had the final say as Exeter bludgeoned their way across in typical style. And Morley's conversion snatching things 27-26. There's the try. The referee Johnny on the spot to see the dot down. As we see another angle here.
There's no stopping the big man from there.
There surely is not. Well, there was about a minute before when he was held up.
We'll forget about that one.
But he managed to catch his revenge.
What are we going into?
And take a victory.
Yeah, absolutely. Always difficult to come down here. They're always up their game for us. Everyone always ups their game for Exeter, but to come out and get the win in cold, blurry conditions, then credit to the boys.
And in your opinion, this victory as a landmark, where does it set you for the season?
Yeah, sets us off really nicely for the second half of the season post-Christmas. We played them at home, and that was for whoever was top at Christmas, and for now it's about pushing on for us, really earning out our wins, getting higher and higher within the league, earning ourselves potentially a bit of a cushion, and just taking every game one step at a time. But we want to win the league like we did last year.
Win the league and probably go one better and make it to a Twickenham final.
Hopefully.
Well, Cardiff Met are the losers this evening. They come up against a strong Exeter side. But last time our cameras were in Cardiff, it was for the big derby at the Arms Park, where Met came out with a victory. And here's a little bit of footage of that game while we grab the man of the match and the coaches for a bit of post-match reaction.
Here over the years, Cardiff University and Cardiff Met are putting on a great show as Aled Ward goes and scores. Cardiff Met 5, Cardiff University 0. The scrum's been threatening to creak in these opening 12 minutes, and that's a straightforward finish for the Cardiff Met captain. 7 minutes to go, Bath 30, Hartpury 17. Make no mistake, Bath are contenders for this championship as Owen Williams gets the offload away. It is the hooker, Cam Lewis, gets the offload in, and Ben Thomas will go under the sticks. Cardiff University tearing the Archers to shreds, and in a moment's time we will be all square. Fantastic score from Ben Thomas, but Cam Lewis turning up on the wing, the hooker doing the business.
Yeah, a lovely try by Ben. That all comes from some really good hands in the back line again. I think it was probably Adam Sabri over on that far side, getting ahead and getting that offload away. Rodri Wall, sorry. Yeah, great play from Rod there. And look at that, a really good support line from Ben.
What an offload though, he splits Matt Marsh and Tom Benjamin. That there is evidence of how much the front row roles have changed, because even at the top level in the 90s, you're not getting hookers with that kind of vision. Tiptoes up the line, times that to perfection.
Absolutely, and as a fresher, you know, Cam's really impressed this year.
Footwork from Benjamin, but he needs to be careful not to get isolated here. Seb Herald looking to turn that one over. Here's Northmore, gets away from the first and the second tackle. Luke Northmore pins his ears back for the corner. What a try! Oh, is he just short? Well, if he is, that is one of the tackles of the season from Cardiff University. What's the referee got to say? Try's been awarded. Well, when Northmore got his hands on that ball, I was going to say he's had a quiet half an hour, but this is why he's one of the most lethal exponents in BUCS Super Rugby. That try has been awarded, and that is an absolute travesty. Could be a second score for Aled Ward, but he's dropped just short. Excellent defensive work from Cardiff University, but they have got their work cut out here at the start of the second half. Ball goes short to Jack Arthur. Huge upper body on the second row, his second row partner Boloko, who scored in the return fixture earlier in the season. A galloping try, much shorter range. This time it's down, it's a try, and it's Cardiff Met 22, Cardiff University 7. Minutes ago, Cardiff Met still down to 14. Cardiff Met not really troubled the try line during this period of play. A little bit of dancing there from Will Gibson as he's picked up and put back down again. Penalty here, gone quickly from the scrum half, putting width on it early. Here's Gareth Ansell into the 22, frees the hands to Johan Davis, gets inside one, inside two, and that's a marvellous finish. Johan Davis unlucky on the right hand side, but on target on the left. It's game on here at the Arms Park. Cardiff Met 24, Cardiff University 12.
Yeah, that's absolutely lovely. Just what Cardiff needed. Brilliant play here from, it's not going to show the replay, but brilliant play from Owen to take the quick tap. a lot of Met players retreating. Lovely little show and no-go from Gareth. And you know, Johan does really well to finish it. He's got 3-4 boys on him.
Back for the advantage, a long advantage there from the referee. And they've gone quickly. Adam Sadbury takes some tackling, does the right winger. Dar for the line, and it is game on here.
That's an amazing bit of confidence there to, you know, go away from the line out. It's been working well and just, you know, try something that Met probably weren't expecting. It's paid off really well. This is really exciting going into the last 8 minutes.
Cardiff Met 24, Cardiff University 17. Tempo here. Owen Davis goes quickly. Sadbury with the carry. No idea how he's made so many metres. It was Rodri Wall with the pickup, was it? No. Tom Wilson dots it down. And it happens in the blink of an eye. Cardiff Met not at the races. This is the composure we talked about. Oh, James Davis looking to cut that one off, and a nice line there from Luke Northmore. Look how dangerous he is. I've no doubt he'll ground this one. A second score of the match for Luke Northmore. This one definitely legitimate. And as the clock approaches 80 minutes, that's the bonus point for the Archers to put this one out of sight. But huge credit to Cardiff Met as they add the extras right on the whistle. They are able to stand tall in the face of adversity.
Okay, well, welcome back everybody pitch side. Some footage there of happier times for Cardiff Met, because this evening they've come out second best against an inspired Exeter University, who've really come and grabbed a massive victory in the grand scheme of the title campaign, Keith.
Yeah, no, definitely it was a good win. It was two good sides really battling it out. You know, I think we sort of held most of territory in possession. A little disappointed in a few areas where we didn't convert that pressure into points more often than we did, but the boys showed a lot of character tonight and stood up and really dug in.
I mean, Kincoid is famously a tough place to come and get a result. You had 3 tries, you missed out on a bonus point. Is that something you're going to rue?
No, really. I mean, we look at performance. The performance tends to look after the scoreboard. Yes, it's always nice to get a bonus point. But first and foremost, it's nice to get the win.
Certainly, and you've got your old foes Hartbury coming up next week. You'll definitely be seeking revenge after what was a surprise result for many people for you at home, but these 2 wins must have you back on the right path.
Yeah, I think you know, we're definitely heading in the right direction. We've got work-ons from tonight's game which we'll take into training next week, and obviously we'll be preparing for Hartbury. But it is the next game. The boys don't really look at it as revenge. We look at it as being able to put in a real Exeter performance. So that's what we look at each week.
Okay, but the signs are looking good. Undefeated in South West Premier in 2019, a fantastic win here. So the omens are good for the run-in of what's a tough end of season. Yeah,
it is a tough end of season. The table is really tight as well, but it you know, it is a good start. 1 ticked off, 5 to go.
Excellent stuff. Can I ask you to hand the microphone to our man of the match, who is Rory McMeekin, awarded by your ERFC brother, Will Cutbill. I'll ask Keith to present you with the awards, with the medal, the Yoti medal. Thank you very much, Keith, because I know that Keith will be keen to jet off. There you go, he's out of shot straight away already. Now, Rory, how was it out there? It looked absolutely brutal from where we were watching.
Yeah, we know coming down here is always going to be tough. You know, they've got a tough crowd, which is always great fun. And personally, I've been out for a while, so it's good to get back into it with the physicality. But we sort of isolated that before the game, and we wanted to really highlight fronting up and tackling that, because we know we can match that. And yeah, it was a great performance.
Yeah, you certainly did that. It was a forward-led performance, a lot of dominance, especially in the second half when you were tight from the 5-metre line. Was that the tactic coming into the game?
Yeah, we've got our game plans, but we back ourselves to be adaptable really, and we felt like today that was what was really required, and you know, today it came off, and we're really happy.
Yeah, and I mentioned to Keith when we were just chatting there now, it's a massive win in the grand scheme of the season with you guys vying to be back-to-back title winners.
Yeah, no, it's huge. Obviously, we're not focusing too much on winning the league at this point. We're just really focusing on our next game now. We were talking in the huddle, good performance, really happy, but Hartpury's a huge game, and we, especially with the last result, we really want to get prepared for that game.
Yeah. Okay. And last question. You mentioned you're coming back from injury. The depth of your squad at Exeter is very impressive. Is that something that you guys are particularly proud of, that you hang your hat on because it's such an attritional season?
Yeah, we're really proud of that. We lost quite a few key figures in our first team last year, so to be playing so well is fantastic. But really, that's down to the coaching staff, the boys, just hard work. Really, we put in the hours and it pays off.
Excellent stuff. All right, Roy. Well, I'm going to invite my co-coms, Will, to come back. Congratulations.
And my housemate as well.
Your housemate. Well, it looks like the deck was loaded for the Man of the Match award this evening. Congratulations, Rory. It was a fantastic performance. You are the OT Man of the Match, so thank you very much.
And
Alex, our roving reporter, will get her into the scene as well, so that we can have a Cardiff Met voice, because Will has been somewhat partisan throughout the commentary. Will, what are your final reflections on that?
Yeah, really good to get the win. Always a difficult place to come this, so really good to get the win. Yes, we didn't get the 5 points, but we're building onwards and onwards every week, and as long as we keep winning, it doesn't matter whether we get the 5 points or not. Just keep the top of the table.
Okay, and Alex, from a Cardiff Met point of view, I think that you've only ever done games where Cardiff Met have been victorious, so how does this taste, and how are Cardiff Met going to overcome this setback?
Yeah, it's really disappointing, obviously, to see the boys come out on the losing end tonight, and it was so close. I actually thought at one point they were going to come out with a win. I spoke to Danny, and I thought they were going to do it. But yeah, no, I think that team are tough, and Danny will go away now and work with the boys really hard, and they'll come back fighting in the next game, definitely.
Okay, so all's not lost for the season. You've got faith in the Archers coming back and being on target again.
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, even teams that come here to this fortress, it's a really tough place for anyway to come. I think you'll agree. It's so tough. You hear the crowds when I was trying to speak to Keith. I mean, they're so loud as well. But yeah, no, definitely. They'll pick themselves up now and come back out fighting again, I'm sure.
Excellent stuff. Okay, well, thank you for your reporting, Alex. Thank you, Will, for being our guest.
Thank you.
As the only impartial voice on this broadcast, I feel that I should probably wrap things up. That the Exeter Green Machine once again rolls on to the summit of the BUCS Super Rugby League. They have snatched a 27-26 victory here at Kincoid. We are back next week with another massive game. All the games in the run into the end of the season are going to be huge, but we'll be there every step of the way. If you have not had your fill of BUCS Super Rugby this evening, then rest assured your favourite podcast, The Buck Stop Here, will return on Monday with Dave Rogers and I dissecting the week's results. But until then, we hope you've had a wonderful evening, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Good night.
It was so much easier because I had already set up from the app about 3 months ago, actually, when it first came to the island.
I really like how simple it was to use.
It's the kind of convenience we want in this modern age that we live in.
Like, you don't really want to carry your passport around all night now, you're always going to have a phone on you.
The convenience to be able to go up and get my phone and just scan a thing.
It's just easier, you have all your stuff in one place.
And it makes life a lot easier when you're trying to prove your age and quite versatile as well.